What's up, my YouTube family? How y'all doing? I'm Alondra. It's sure welcome back to another video. So if you are new to the family, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and post notifications. You'll get notified every single time I post and don't miss a video. If you're part of the family, thank you. Make sure you like and comment. If you read by the title, you know I'm gonna be talking about dealing with anxiety and panic attacks. And you know I realize and I think that this is a very hard, difficult topic to really put out there or really talk about. Simply for me, it's being because, you know, I sometimes felt like really crazy. Me thinking that also that I'm by myself. Like it felt like I'm dealing with it alone. So simply because of those reasons, I did not want to really people to know. So the only people that know are like my parents and my best friend. And that's how, you know, I wanted it to be. But then I came to the realization, like last night, that I'm not the only person that deals with it. So I felt like it's good to voice that, put it out there to let other people know that you're not the only person or whoever you are dealing with it. So that's my reason for making this video. I recently wrote a book in February, but I have not put it out because I have not finished it. So that's what I'm going to be referencing in this video in case I go caboozle and not know what I'm talking about. So with that being said, it's going to be a 3-part series or a 2-part. Just this video, which is going to be long, so brace yourself. This video, which is going to be about just how my experience, and part 2 is how I cope with it, how I deal with it. And yeah, so let's get into the video. So I'm gonna just start going through some symptoms. Everybody faces different symptoms, but these are mine. So tingling, numbness, and the weakness in hands and feet, weakness in my body. The biggest one being shortness of breath and feeling like somebody is getting their hand, putting it in your chest and snatching your air. Stirring up acid reflux as well. So causing heartburns, which is not good on top of that. Also feeling like my head is bobbling or shaking like this, but it's not. Having my eyes feel like they're crossing, like when I'm looking at something. Those are just the symptoms that I've experienced. Not fun at all to go through, especially not at once. I've had several doctor's visits, a lot. Going to the ER, going to just regular doctor's appointments, to seeing a therapist to help, which was helpful. I'm going to get into that in the next video, actually. But having a lot of doctor's appointments made me feel a little crazy because I'm sitting here like, I'm having all these doctor's appointments. They all telling me the same thing. Nothing's wrong with me. You know, I'm fine. So why am I feeling like this? You know, that's been my question forever. You know, having them all tell me the same thing. Which is good that nothing's wrong, but I'm still asking, well, why am I feeling like this? And it's just, you know, when you really don't think you have anxiety. Like me, I'm one of the people that don't think I have it, and it has always been like that. But you know, deep down inside, something happens, and you can base it. You can say, "Oh, this triggered it." So what is that? So like different things would trigger it for me, and I had to write those down. And I think I still have them. I think I'm getting better at that list, actually. But yeah, you know, it's at point times you feel crazy. You feel like, okay, I'm going through this by myself. Nobody else understands what I'm going through. It gets irritating when you feel like nobody else has experienced what you feeling. Nobody can relate to you. Like you in this by yourself, and you like nobody can help you. You know, and I became very irritable when people was talking. To give y'all a story time, well, let me just first say, for my Christmas holiday in 2019, I did not enjoy it because I kept having panic attacks after panic attacks. And I realize what they are now that I've, you know, experienced them in the past. And yes, you guys, anxiety, the definition is right here. I'm gonna let y'all read it. Panic attack, the definition is right here. So I can see that's two different things. So I'm talking about them, but they can't go hand in hand. That's what I'm talking about them hand in hand. So, you know, Christmas holiday, didn't get to really enjoy my family. Couldn't really stand noise. Story time is not really story time, but I've had, you know, I have a daycare job, and it really stops, you know, your day to day, you know, doing what you love to do. I've been there for a year, but a couple months ago, I started getting really irritable. I could not. So back before I was really interrupted, so basically, you know, it stops like your basically your day to day. So like yeah, I was going to work. Like I said, I was there for a year. Been there for a year. And I had 4-year-olds at first. You know, I worked for 4-year-olds about 8 months, and it came to a point where I could not take it anymore. I used to have to call in to work, call out of work, show up late to work, go to work and have to get sent home. It came to a point where like I could not take it. I used to have panic attacks at work, in my classroom, but you could not tell. I would make sure the kids could not tell. And you really cannot tell if you're a kid what a panic attack really looks like. So I ended up having to go talk to my boss because I had to tell her I could not take it. I could not. And she understood. And at that point, I was going in. I had my 2 weeks notice. I was about to quit. But my best friend told me to try a new room. So I asked for a new room, and she put me with 1-year-olds. And, you know, I went to work, and yes, I still had anxiety going into work into that 1-year-old classroom, but they calmed it down, and that was the difference. That was the main reason I knew this room is for me. The only thing is, like, when I was by myself in the 4-year-old room, right? And the reason I could not, you know, I could not handle it by myself is because I could not take the noise, like I said, and I could not handle them coming up to me, telling me this. And so I had to combine with the other teacher, which was my best friend, her room, because I couldn't take it by myself. And so this room, I have somebody with me. But if the thing comes up where I'm by myself, it's like it happens again, you know, and like panic attacks happen because I'm in there by myself. And I feel like, you know, it's all a mind game because they're babies. What are they going to do? They can't really talk. But I'm thinking, oh, they're going to do this, or they're going to do that, or they're going to do that. So when I'm in there by myself, you know, if I have like, in all, I think I have 9 kids now. But if I'm in there by myself, and I have like 5, my head, and the other teacher leaves and I'm by myself, I'll literally start having a panic attack. And I'll know that, and I'll try to calm myself down. I'll try to calm it down, you know, by doing little things. So little things help me through that. And I'm going to talk about the coping, like I said in another video. But I think I've learned, you know, to deal with it, you know, and it's just a mind game. You're in your head. Because I know you know, they're babies and I can do what I do. But yeah, like I said, it's just a mind game. So yeah, I had to switch rooms. I honestly went in there to talk to my boss to quit. I don't know if I said that probably, but I'm glad I did not. So yeah, and then sometimes you'll be perfectly fine and it'll just snap out of nowhere. And, you know, people take it so lightly. People say, oh, you'll be fine, da 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 da. But as bad as you feel, you don't think so. So you like I'll have something that on the scale to 10, on the scale be 10 being the worst, or over 10. And then some days I'll wake up and I'll be like a 2. And then gradually through the day you're like, oh my gosh, am I gonna get better or worse? And then when it's a 10, you just constantly feel like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna explode. I need to go to the hospital. I need to go to the hospital. You know, sometimes I'll be with my best friend and I'll be like, stop talking. And then I tell her, I don't want to talk. You don't talk, I don't talk. Because literally, if they talk, I feel like my head is just going pow. And that's sad, honestly. Like, I don't want to be like that. It comes to a point where you don't want to do nothing but sit in your room, which is depressing. And you don't want to drive yourself into depression. So, you know, it's very hard when you feel like nobody understands because you're the only one that has them. You know, you feel like that. But you know, the only person you can really call on is Jesus. Because when it's on a scale of 1 to 10 and they tell you, you try to go to the hospital, but they're going to tell you it's a panic attack, it's just anxiety. So you basically have to calm yourself down. You know, there are medications. I don't know if I said this, but I've gotten prescribed a lot of medications that I have to take if I was to have a panic attack, or if I just want to take it so it does not happen. And that's one thing I never wanted to have to take. Honestly, I did not want to take any medicines. I got prescribed medicines, an asthma pump, everything you can think of, because they're trying to figure out what it is when you know deep down what it is. So yeah, the really person you can call on is Jesus, because that's what it takes. You know, that's who it takes. Because it's not for anybody to take lightly. I feel like too many people say, "Oh, you have anxiety," big whoop-de-whoop. Like, then throw it over the head. Oh, it's not no whoop-de-whoop. Go through one. You'll see it's not no whoop-de-whoop. And like I said, I wouldn't wish it on nobody. But that's pretty much my story. Don't want to get more into depth. Just wanted to give y'all the gist of it. This video is long, like I told y'all. But thank y'all for listening. And just remember, if this is you that's going through this, you are not by yourself. You're not by yourself. Is what I had to figure out, what you got to figure out. My next video will be on how I cope with it, ways for you to probably cope with it, or, you know, go about your day-to-day and don't have to go through one. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you turn that notification bell on to get notified every single time I post. And y'all, this was a different video for me, so bear with me. Well, I love y'all. Peace out. Mwah, kisses.